folks, and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And tonight we got a great show for you. We are honoring one of our own, Dalibor Suchi, with my guests Nina the Mystic and Lucky Stone. And I hope a few other people show up. I sent some invites out. If you want to say your piece about Dalibor or anything like that, get in the comments, and I will put in a link, and you can come on and say what you want a little bit about him. But tonight we're going to be talking about Dalibor, his life. I got some video clips and things like that. There's Grandpa Brian. Grandpa Brian, I'm not feeling well, going to bed. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Oh, sorry, Grandpa Brian. Hope you get better soon. Anyway, I hate to say it, folks. This is like the hardest show I'd ever had to put together. It's one of those things. Sorry. But it's really hard. Dalibor was a really good friend. I'm going to miss him a lot. Lucky, you and me, we spent a lot of time with him. Nina, you were on the show with him quite a bit too. Mm-hmm. Why don't you start off on maybe saying something about Dalibor, and I'm going to get some video clips up here. Okay.
You want to go first there, Lucky?
Yeah, he was very knowledgeable. The conversations with Dalibor were always going to lead you to somewhere that you never expected to be. He has information he had a lot of information in his head. And I did not know he knew 5 different languages, but I mean, just the sheer ability to speak 5 different languages, just amazing. And then his English was impeccable. So he was an amazing person to talk to. I kind of wish the after show things we could have kept and shown those, because some of the most amazing things out of his mouth came in the after show, because, we're kind of free, not to be tethered by the rules of internet. Let's just say that. But from there, he was just an amazing person. He's always gave me things to think about for later for me to look up, because you'd always add something that I wasn't even thinking of, another perspective that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was an amazing guy. You're right about the after shows. Oh my gosh, we had some crazy after. I remember sitting here and talking to him for like an hour, almost 2 after the show. Those were amazing.
Yeah, that's the thing. We would talk for hours after the show, and it was, amazing. The stuff that we found, we talked about.
Yep. Nina?
That's usually the way, isn't it? The good stuff's always after the camera's turned off, when, like you said, you can relax and not have to worry about, what we're talking about and, what we cannot. Like, it's just getting worse and worse with that. Yep. Every year there's something new that we got to worry about talking about now, but yeah, I mean, I didn't know him that well, but I mean, I did a few shows with him, with you guys up in here. And of course I saw all the other shows that, you guys were doing. And, yeah, I mean, I really liked him. We got along great. Is one of the few people that you can sit and talk to and banter with, and, who actually has something to say. It's not that often, to be honest with you, that you meet people that can hold a conversation, so it was, and I actually was, I know I mentioned that to you last week. I was just about to contact him to get him to come on my show, see if he wanted to do more shows, so that's really unfortunate that we didn't get to know him better over on my channel, I guess. And, yeah, he went way too soon. He's the exact same age as me, so that hits home, it's kind of surreal, right? Then when your peers are dropping, it's a weird feeling, isn't it? Yeah, so.
Yeah, it is. What me and Lucky, we had a lot of things in common with Dalibor. I mean, remember we talked about schooling. Remember the schooling thing?
Yep.
Yeah, I flunked gym. I'm like, yeah, me too.
Yep. He definitely he was brilliant in all subjects, but he didn't do well. He didn't pass gym. Yeah.
Smart as a whip, couldn't pass gym. That was so hilarious. I'm like, yeah, same here. I failed a year at gym. I think it was all because the teacher didn't like me, but still, nonetheless, it was really. It's been really hard. I really struck hard. I don't want to go on about so much, but it devastated me for several days, or if not longer. It was probably more days than that. Let's see. I want to acknowledge all the people in the chat. Bonnie Gore-Tex, thank you for being here. Scotty Boy, Teresa was really good friends with them too. I know she's gonna miss them. Voiceovers by Stephanie Marie. Thank you for being here. Let's see who do we got. We had Elderberries in the house. Grandpa Brian and Scotty Boy, of course. And I am Neo. He is first. There you go. So I think he's on your side. Anyway, we got lots of stuff here. We got some clips from Dalibor. I think that's the best way to say it is from him to say it to us himself. Or let's recap some of the times that he joined us, because nothing else. It says it the best. I just loved having him on the show. Let's see. Okay, and ready. Here we go. And
hello and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And tonight we got a great show about teaching and learning with our guest, Dalibor Suchi.
Look at that. That was one of the first times I had him on the show, and he didn't have the earmuffs on.
Yeah, that's right. You never saw him without those earmuffs. That's true.
Yeah, he had the earmuffs up all the time. Man, that was I couldn't believe I found one without. Yeah, that was back in the day. That was 2020, early 2023, I think, in June. So there you go.
And my co-host, Lucky Stone, thank you for coming. Howdy, folks, and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And tonight we got a great show for you. We're going to predict the future, and I predict that my guests are going to be Dalibor Suchi and Nina from Nina's channel. Anyway, that's called.
Howdy, folks, and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And tonight we got a great show for you. We are doing some journey work, some mental healing, all with our special guest, Trina Phoenix, and my co-host tonight, Dalibor Suchi. Thank you for coming on.
Howdy, folks, and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. Tonight we got a great show for you. We didn't have this was supposed to be Saturday night show, but now it's Sunday night show. But welcome to my co-host, guest, Trina Phoenix, Dalibor Suchi. Thank you for coming tonight. We are gonna hit it off. Oh my gosh, you guys should have seen the pre-show.
Okay, so we're gonna jump back to this one, people. Anyway, this was the Fire and Ice show. If you haven't watched the Fire and Ice show, you have to go back and watch that. It was all about transitioning. It was about the other side. It was, good and bad. All kinds of stuff was in there. Dalibor must have really liked the show. He copied that, and he shared the link for that, put it on his Minds channel or whatever it is over there, whatever Minds is. But anyway, he shared this video out, and him and Trina I literally sat back and said almost nothing the whole show. And they just went to town. And the information that came out of that show was so unbelievable. But I think Dalibor knew it. And there's some stuff in there that was just amazing. So if you get a chance, go check out Fire and Ice.
guest Trina Phoenix, Dalibor Sushi. Thank you for coming tonight. We are gonna hit it off. Oh my gosh, you guys should have seen the pre-show. Howdy, folks, and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And I pressed the button a couple too many times there. And tonight I'm joined by my co-host Dalibor Sushi. Thank you for being here tonight.
Howdy, folks, and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And tonight we're going to have a great show all about learning. And with my co-host, Dalibor Suchi, thank you for coming, our residential scientist, wizard, and much more.
Pleased to be here.
Howdy, folks, and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And tonight we got a great show for you. We got to open our hearts and our minds to the world around us with my co-host, Lucky Stone, and our guest, Dalibor Suchi. Thank you for being here.
Pleasure to be here.
Howdy, folks, and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And tonight we got a great show for you. We're going to predict the future, and I predict that my guests are going to be Dalibor Suchi and Nina the Mystic from Nina's channel.
Pleasure to be here.
Howdy, folks, and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And tonight we got a great show for you. Oh my goodness. We got our my co-host, Lucky Stone, and my guest tonight, Dalibor Suchi. Thank you both for being here tonight. As we
Pleasure to be here.
Three wise men. Yes.
So yeah, are we the three wise men now?
Well, the three wise men.
Howdy. So that was a good one. You know, he'd always say, "It's a pleasure being here." you know what I mean? He just had that way. Most of the time he'd say that. That was hilarious. He just so calming. Pleasure to be here. Oh man. You remember some of those shows, Lucky?
Yes, see that's the thing. There was so much in them, and a lot of times it was longer than the actual show itself. There was so much afterwards. What he would come up with. Yeah. The stuff we could talk about after the show was amazing, but we really couldn't bring it up because of the rules. We have to follow the rules. That's the sad thing. We miss all this great content because of the silly rules.
Yeah, it's almost I back when I had Zoom, I used to try to record some of the after shows, but on StreamYard just doesn't work quite that way. So
no,
it is what it is. But Nina, you were on with him actually quite a bit for not having this guy on your show. You were on with him a lot.
Yeah, over the years, it's been a few times, I'm sure. Yeah,
I'm gonna predict Dalibor going to be on the show tonight. That was such a good one. I seen that. I couldn't believe that I had put that out like that. That was, oh man.
Yep.
Folks, welcome to
we got to go on with
another day in the Milky Way, and tonight we got a great show for you. We're going to be talking about peace in our world. It's that day, we all been waiting for it, and with all my guests tonight, Lucky Stone, Max Vision, Nina the Mystic, Dalibor Suchi. Thank you for being here tonight. And
well, in my opinion, I think the whole thing was fake. I think the whole thing was staged, and put it this way: if you go to imdb.com and put in the name Donald Trump, you will find an entry because he really is an actor. I mean, he's been in a couple of movies. He was in Back to the Future. He had his own TV show. He's also worked with Vince McMahon. He worked with World Wrestling Entertainment and other people from that milieu. And he's also got people from WWE working for him for his campaign. I mean, as evidence of that, he had Hulk Hogan do an opening speech for him. I don't know when this was. I think it was yesterday. And I think that says it all, because this is just the type of special effect that the WWE is known for.
You almost feel like compassion because you know what it's like. So you know what I mean? And you know what they got it so much worse. This stuff runs downhill through the genetic lines. That's why we heal it in these higher states of consciousness, because it seems to be one of the only places it really goes through the whole line.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Imagining going through that situation, that traumatic event, through
Mhm.
the eyes of like the perpetrator.
Yes.
That brings a whole other perspective to it.
Yes.
Then you go through. It's just like when you're playing chess and you switch sides. You know,
Yes.
that's the same situation. You got to do that mentally to be a good chess player, because you have to see the board from your adversary's point of view to figure out what they're going to do next, right? Except in this case, you want to figure out the motivation for what happened, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
that in and of itself is one of the aspects of healing, because most of the time you figure out it's not your fault.
Yes.
It's usually, it could be your fault, but then again it might not be your fault. And either way, that revelation makes for change to be possible.
Thought I got rid of all those. I don't know why, but anyway. So that was a few of them. We're going to stop right there for a second and talk about some of this. Some of those shows that he did, he just knew so much about the other side, the afterlife, dream state. It was amazing to me how much he knew about that other side. You got any comments on that part? Do you think he knew so much that when he crossed over that he knew right what to do and where to go?
That I don't know, but I want to go back to the clip from we talked about Trump there. I remember that show, and that's kind of funny to listen to that now after the election.
Yes.
Because everybody seems to have gone over to the Trump side now. So I'm sure that would trigger a lot of people today.
Mm-hmm.
But I certainly hope, going back to your original question, I certainly hope that we do that when we cross over the veil, that it's just like a aha moment, kind of like, oh yeah, I remember this place now, I remember what to do. I'm kind of assuming that that's what it's like when we cross.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, otherwise, if not, then that would kind of explain why there's so many spirits kind of stuck too. So maybe not everybody. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The more you know here, the better off you're going to be on the other side, I think. And so I'm kind of glad that I've sacrificed some of my social life to learn, sit and study instead of going out there socializing, because that's not going to do me any good on the other side. So,
but
yeah, anyways, what do you think?
And we did talk about that too, a lot, that distraction. Yes, Lucky?
Absolutely.
There's something that let's address the elephant in the room. Dalibor passed away on his birthday.
Yeah, that was interesting.
But it's called the birthday effect, and you are significantly more likely to die on your birthday than any other day of the year. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. No way. Where did you see that?
It's almost like he had a 55-year plan, because he died right the day that he would have been 56, I guess, right? Yeah. So he was here for 55 years, which to me, because I just went through that year last year, because we're the same age, that number has been very significant for me in the last, year and a bit. And so he was here exactly 55 years. I thought that was kind of interesting as well,
It's one of the weird things about people are more, they tended to party more around their birthday, more physical activity. They tend to stress themselves out, but also cardiovascular and cancer people tend to die on their birthdays.
Really?
It's just, I figured it was just like a 1 in 365 chance, but no, it's significantly higher. It's 13%, which I had no idea. Oh no, people 60 years or older are a 13.8% chance of dying on their birthday. These are crazy numbers. I never knew. But, like I said, Yeah, like Dalibor. I like information. I absorb information. It's interesting.
Yeah. Well, it makes
Because,
you wonder, like, is it because of the extra excitement over the day? Now, Dalibor, was he not in the hospital at the time of his passing? He had been in the hospital for a while.
From
So
what
did
I
he
found,
even know that he even had a birthday? Like,
well, you know, I don't know if he'd been in the hospital. According to Teresa, that he was in the hospital when he died.
yeah, because they
That they
were
said
putting
on their show.
the vent on him.
Yeah, but other than that, I don't know all the other details. I wish I did, you know, but that's all kind of gray area. You
And I
know,
guess if he was going to treat himself, if you will,
yeah,
a cigarette or two more than usual probably would have been that was his vice. And that goes to show you too that even the smartest people on the planet have vices. We all have our vices, you know, and that was his. And so, yeah, I can see him maybe celebrating his birthday with that long cigarette thing that he had going on there. You know, I actually kind of want to get one of those now, even though I don't smoke anymore. But
Teresa's saying no, his parents were helping him out. And on the 6th of September, he went in to get some help. And they were working on him on his birthday when he passed. Oh, okay. Well, there you
so
go.
his birthday wouldn't have really, it was just a coincidence, although I don't believe in those, that it was his birthday. Like,
yeah, and I don't think Dalibor, like you were talking about, it's lucky about the party, and then so I don't think Dalibor was the partying type of guy.
That's the statistic.
No, so a cigarette was his
reason.
thing, you know.
The whole thing is statistically, but also on your birthday kind of reminds you of your mortality. It might be also that,
or it's a trigger for all the bad, because a lot of people, you know, had disappointments on the birthday. Maybe they invited kids to a party that never showed, or there's a lot of triggers, right? And your birthday is probably definitely one of them. And yeah, you're probably, you know, it's emotional, you know. Then you think about your parents. I don't know. His parents were still around. So that's usually an emotional day for the parents as well, or for the mother, you know, and whatever. And so, yeah. But I don't know if he was in a state of even worrying about that on this birthday. It doesn't sound like it. It sounded like he was pretty busy. Because according to the last show where Teresa was doing the channeling and whatnot, you know, he was talking about fighting when they were putting the tube down, you know, because we know from the 2020 that most people that go on those things don't come back, you know, and so he knew that as well. And so that's basically what take you out is that tube they put down. So that's like the last So
big shout out. Thank you for coming. So anyway, you're right. He let go on his birthday. And somebody says, Bonnie says, apparently you pick your death day on the other side before you come. What do you have to say to that?
I can see that. Apparently, we do have our date, you know, and that's why there's not much we can do, you know, to try to avoid it. You know, it's you know. And so, I don't want to really bring up my little doom and gloom download that I had, but you know, it's I can see that I knew.
Says, he was in some sort of coma for a few days. I was just seeing it the first when he was struggling. Oh, so he'd probably been in the hospital for a few days.
Teresa,
and then he was
why don't you come up on here instead of texting him? Why don't you just come on up? Let's hear your story. Yeah, let's hear it. Where's Karina?
I don't know. I sent her a link too. I sent Al a link too, but he said he couldn't make it. You know, I mean, everybody's got things to do. This guy, so he says, it was getting pretty lonely at Robert's channel. Oh, well, everybody must be over your channel, you know.
Well, not really. I don't know. Or we're half and half. Or maybe, you know, this is one of those shows that a lot of people aren't going to want to watch just because it's sad.
Yeah. Well, if you don't know Dalibor, then
Yeah,
you
or
know,
if you don't know who it is, there's another one. Unless you're, you want to come in
Yeah.
here and chat. And
but
but yeah,
yeah.
it doesn't look like anybody's. It's
Oh,
not.
you
It's
got
not a chat room
you
to
got 4
party.
people. I got 11 on mine. Maybe they're at Lucky's.
I got
No,
5
Lucky.
here.
I
Oh,
can't stream.
Lucky's doing it too.
I
You
can't
can't
stream. I can't stream. I'm blocked.
Oh
I have
no, what
problems.
happened?
What?
Nothing. YouTube is it's doing some weird things. Nothing major. It'll be fine.
Oh, okay, because I seen you up there a little bit ago, and then all of a sudden,
It wouldn't allow it. Between StreamYard and YouTube are not talking to each other. It happens sometimes. It's fine.
oh, okay, sorry.
I'd have to log out of him, log back into him. I'm not doing that while doing the show. I know
Well,
how
yeah,
it is.
yeah.
I've
Yeah, I
had this
know.
issue before. I've had this issue
Okay.
before. Yeah, it's YouTube and
Okay.
StreamYard have a very tenuous relationship, and I don't think YouTube likes it as much, but they have to keep the relationship. So
Yeah. Jackie J says, I was always hearing Dalibor talk and listen to his stories. We have 2 rabbits and one needed a name, and I've been calling it Dalibor. Wanted to share this with you all. Oh, well,
That
that's
is
sweet.
so funny because he's the sun rabbit.
yeah,
Yeah.
Jackie,
Yes,
you gotta
yes.
call him the sun rabbit. I don't know, or sun.
There you go.
I know,
Teresa
that's
says, it's honestly been a major ordeal for me, and I already went through a release last Friday. I'm almost to support all the night, but probably drift off to sleep. Okay, sorry, Teresa, but thank you for coming. And no, we appreciate you and what you did on your show with channeling and all that. That must have been an ordeal to channel. I never did it myself, but I'm sure there was something to that, and it was interesting. It was very interesting, and thank you for sharing. And thank you for finding out all this information. You and Lori is much appreciated too. I mean, we're all a community. We all got to work together. I would have done a show the next day, but on Saturday, but it was a voting time, and I already had plans for voting, and a lot of people didn't find out anyway. So, I mean, he did pass away in September, so we're all a little late to the party. But this is your time, everybody, to put in the comments, put in the chat what Dalibor meant to you. I'd like to hear. We'll mention it on here. What did he mean? This is our little, our goodbye to him. It's what we were here to do. Scotty.
I don't know if you noticed, but I got Isby back here with the candle lighting for Dalibor. And that's another one. I mean, don't forget Isby, who left us a couple of years now. It's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Couple
of years.
Bruce passed away.
Also don't forget. Don't forget the original Milky Way messenger, Brian Burnett, who pretty much gave me this job.
Well, it's basically his channel. Yeah, that was a while ago now. It must have been like 5 years ago now for Brian.
Yeah,
I think
4 or 5
he
years.
passed sort of right around the time that I never met him. I never saw any.
2020, 2020 he passed. Jackie says, I've never forgotten Isby and the wizard hat. Believe it or not, I think I got a picture of Isby and the wizard hat somewhere here.
Yeah, that's why
I'll dig it out.
I named this guy Isby. You see, that's my Isby statue back there. Because that's exactly the costume that he was wearing. Remember for the Halloween shows?
He loved that costume too. Man, he just loved that stuff. He was Mr.
Wizard,
the wizard. Oh, and if I can find it here, I'm looking, but whichever, I'll find it sooner. I know I just seen it here a little while ago when I was looking through a bunch of records for Dalibor. I mean, it's amazing how much stuff I have for these people. Anyway, let's get back to, I'm trying to look for Isby. I'll look for, I'll give Dalibor a little chance here to speak. Again, here we go. Oops, I gotta press play.
This was supposed to be Saturday night show, but now it's Sunday night show. But welcome to my host, co-host, guest, Trina Phoenix, Dalibor Sushi. Thank you for coming tonight. We are gonna hit it off. Oh my gosh, you guys should have seen the pre-show. But anyway, here we are. Thanks for coming.
It was a pretty good pre-show. I said, I wish we could speak as freely, but you got to be careful.
I know. Yes, I said, to Ganja Shaman to contact me and says, "Oh, I had a bunch of my YouTube taken down. You think I can come on your show?" And I build up my following again. And I said, "Sure." He says, "I think I got too smart, too many ideas." And I said, "Yeah, I think it, And I wrote back and I said, "In the future, we're all going to be talking in grunts."
That is so funny.
Yeah.
That is so funny. You said that. My roommate was telling me how she was communicating with one of her friends by grunt language, by our facial expressions, our gestures, and our grunts. So, yeah. Wouldn't that be amazing if that was actually more intelligent than what we're doing now?
Well, I
guess that would be a way of getting around censorship, right? Because my very first and only video that I ever put up on YouTube got taken down within 45 minutes, even though it's a 2.5-hour long video. Yeah, and I yielded. I said, this is medical misinformation because I'm not a medical professional. I'm just expressing my honest opinion, and everybody's entitled to their opinion, right? So how can it be medical misinformation when I don't have a doctor in front of my name or an MD after it? And I'm not a doctor, and I went on YouTube. So what's the problem?
Right. I see a lot of potentials like that now. I do see a lot of similarities.
Yeah, well, Egypt was courting socialism. What was his name? Nasser. He was very left-leaning, and hopefully they're going to get over that. Because it really doesn't work. It's never worked before. As a matter of fact, it's a very old concept. People think communism originated in like 1914 in Russia. Bullshit. No, it originated in the 1300s in Czechoslovakia, in my country. And it was in the city of Dalibor, Tabor, you look this up. And it was the first city that was conceived as a communist state, where if you wanted to move there, you had to take all your gold or your money and put it into this fountain right at the edge of the city, and you would be taken care of, from each according to their ability to each according to their need. And it was supposed to be like the optimal communist state. It was founded by Yanshka. To this day, Antifa uses the same flag that the city of Dalibor uses. They divided red and black flag. That's the Antifa flag, and that's the flag of the city of Dalibor, the first communist city. All the way back in the Middle Ages. Yeah. And of course, needless to say, it didn't work. It didn't work back then.
No, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And all this technology and all of this, changing yourself and connecting to all this stuff, obviously this doesn't work either, because I'm going to be traveling through to which other body part in the 7-world system are you going to land in? Are you going to land in Father Time and Saturn? Are you going to land in the bowel? Mm-hmm. Are you going to be in the gut, going through digestion and being ripped apart and being digested? Are you going to be in the lungs? Are you going to be in the heart? What center are you going to resonate and vibrate and go into? Because you're going to go back into the body that you came. And that body is a universal body, and it contains our solar system within its belly.
Yeah, just the fact that it's called the solar system, the soul.
Solar system.
Yeah, solar system. And it's a
solar system.
Part of the soul trap is like the misuse of technology that they're using with distractions like, celebrity stuff, sports scores, wars which may or may not be happening, mass shootings that may or may not be occurring, that forces people to constantly think about these things and obsess over them and waste time, essentially. Waste time on things that don't really matter in the greater scheme of things.
Is all of this just an inverted copy of that which is organic and real and eternal? What is the potential?
What does that show? If it is, it shows intelligent design and nothing more. Because At this point, we still don't have any specific proof of any of this astronomical stuff that we believe to be true, like the distance from the Earth to the Sun. Unless you know the exact size of what you're measuring, you can't measure the distance, and you can't measure the distance unless you know the size. So it's like, a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation where we have no idea how far away the stars are. And if you do the math, the actual math, where, for example, the rate of intensity of moonlight is 1/10,000th that of the sun. If you use the inverse square law and move towards the moon, by the time you're 5 kilometers from the surface of the moon, that moon is giving off something like 100,000 times more intensity than the sun, 100,000 times more radiation than the sun, which doesn't make sense. If you were to land there, we've been shown, various things that appear to show NASA making fake movies on the ISS with people floating around on water and stuff like that. So that's part of the soul trap and part of the deception, because we can fly, do it in our dreams. Our dreams are only like a lower aspect of the fourth dimension, where we can access that on a temporary basis when we dream.
We knew it was real, but it took such an intense emotion of either this is gonna work or I'm gonna go splat. You know what I mean? But he just jumped anyways out of faith, and the faith is what carried him, and the earth responded to that faith.
Yeah. And there's people that have demonstrated similar feats, on television. There was a guy who could stop a bullet with his abdomen. A gun aimed at his abdomen, he could stop it. Or people who start fires with their just by concentrating on it. Or people that can hypnotize animals.
Met somebody in person who could do that. He could start fire in his hand, and he could light light bulbs in his hand.
Yeah,
I've seen that. I've seen one human being actually do that, and it was really wild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was like, construct of that realm, and I think that's what goes into the DNA.
That it was so funny because they would just go. Did you notice I just sat there and they went back and forth and back and forth? I mean, one on top of another on top of another. I think this was some out of the Fire and Ice, and there was another. I think they did 2 shows together, but I think this was the Fire and Ice show, and they went back and forth and back and forth. And he had a lot of. I know. Here's the funny part. I had downloaded all the shows that I did with him, almost probably 90% of them, and they're just sitting in my finished box. So putting this together wasn't too terribly hard. It was just there's a lot of footage to go through. We did hour and a half, or so shows. And so much stuff, I just went through and picked out a bunch of things. I could pick where he was talking a lot, and I kind of put together as best as I could. But there's some interesting stuff coming up where he talks about himself, probably right after this clip here. So we'll just click on this, and here we go.
So you can have an understanding from the past people that have been there, or beings, or whatever they are. So you have a foundation of an instinctual knowing, so you can operate in that construct, or you wouldn't last 2 minutes.
Exactly. Yeah, just like you wouldn't, if you had no DNA in this realm, you wouldn't last 2 minutes.
Not 2 minutes. Never.
Yeah.
Yep.
I eat tomatoes till I'm almost sick of them.
Yeah, this year was kind of dismal. I have 6 fruit trees on my property. I have 2 pear trees. I have 2 apricot, plum trees, 1 apricot, and 1 cherry. And not much of any of them. Not much from any of them. It was like pretty dismal. Like not even worth the mention. I would say. And some years are like that. I don't know why. Some years it's plentiful, some years it's not, and it's difficult to gauge it because we had a lot of rain this year and everything. I don't know. It's not predictable.
Yeah. You know, all that you had is gone, and now you're at
Exactly.
zero.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's also like being in a relationship means you have to like maintain that relationship. And usually guys do that through like expensive gifts and, you know, taking her out to expensive dinners and stuff like that. I was never into that. I've never treated myself to an expensive dinner. I mean, screw that. I mean, I've never owned a new car ever. I've never bought new clothes. Everything that I'm wearing it comes from a dumpster. Okay. Everything you see behind me comes from a dumpster.
Yeah.
And or eBay, where you know
exactly.
what I've been doing since eBay started in 1999 or so is I've supplemented my income by selling on eBay, by selling stuff that I picked from people's trash. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is, and exactly it. I used to go to a lot of auctions. I used to go people would, back in the day. We're kind of getting off track, but in back in the day, they would call you up and say, "Hey, you know, I got a bunch of junk I need to put in the garage." I'd be over there to be split. A lot of times.
I guess Robert's gone again.
Mm.
You're not broadcasting, Robert. I think your internet's having problems. So you're aware.
Yeah. Yeah, I was having some echoing issues there. I'm assuming that's because Robert had his mic on still. Like, so you getting the dual thing going on, or I'm not sure.
Yeah, because he's listening to what he's broadcasting. His mic is gone. That's
Right.
what's happening. That's
That's what I
normal.
thought.
But
Okay.
yeah, Dalibor was an interesting fellow.
He sure was, yeah.
I mean, the information he had. I mean, I didn't always agree with some of his ideas, but they did lead me to looking in. You know, sometimes you have to talk to people that you don't agree with so you can understand what you truly believe in. That's what he taught me. He taught me so much about considering the data, you know, looking at it from different points of view.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of funny. He was talking about the moon stuff, and the great thing about, you know, it's Raised by Giants, Ryder.
Yeah.
He's looking into that, you know, and some of the stuff that Ryder came out with. I mean, if Dalibor and Ryder got together, it would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
All that information. What did Dalibor talk about? The problem with that question is, what did Dalibor talk about? What didn't Dalibor talk about? He was into collecting silver because silver is undervalued. He was going on and on about how he was trading on eBay to buy silver at cost, you know, what it normally would cost to buy it. He was always wheeling and dealing. Very smart guy. He knew how to, I mean, statistically, even a poor person can make a lot of money if they know what to do, when to buy things. And, you know, that's how he lived, you know, below his means, because he always knew, you know, he's always collecting silver. You know, he doesn't need it now, but he has plenty of silver.
Yeah, well, there is ways of supporting yourself and being frugal, you know. So absolutely, I love a lot of the things he talked about. But I see it looks like we got another guest on with us here.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're
There's
back.
Max.
You're back.
Oh, woo-hoo. There you go. Hey, Max, how you doing?
Good.
Good. I know you were on the show with Dalibor a couple of times.
Oh yeah.
Do you have any words to say about Dalibor?
I love the guy. He was awesome.
Yes, he was.
You know, very intelligent. Open to any idea you wanted to share with him. You know, willing to look at it. Yeah. Very intelligent guy. I really appreciated his intelligence. You know.
Yeah. He always amazed me by he knew so much about everything, not just you know nothing, but everything. He just amazed. And when you told him something that he didn't know, he was like, "Holy cow! I can't believe I didn't know that." And then he went and researched it. I'm sure he did.
Yeah. He was very practical. He did a lot of practical things in his life, like, which I appreciate. It's one thing to be able to know things, but it's another to actually go out and do things. And he did things,
Yeah.
made things, and lived a life that was completely different than what most would think, and did it really well.
Yeah. Yes, he did. And we were lucky to have him. According to Teresa, yeah, he was a professional financer and banker. And yeah, he knew a lot about that. I asked him about stuff before I bought my house. And, he really, boy, he knew what he was talking about, and I sure didn't. And then he had a stroke. He never really talked about his stroke much. But, I guess then he became a homebody. And then that's, then he ended up here on our shows. And, in one way or another, I'm happy he ended up on our shows, because I'm glad I got to know him. I'm really honored that, I'll never forget him. And with the video, with the video way we have nowadays, he'll be treasured for years to come. His knowledge will not go unnoticed. Put it that way.
Yeah.
He did. Max, did you see the show that he did when they had what was it, the remote viewing on A7?
No, I didn't. No.
Oh yeah, they did a remote viewing show, and he used his little rubber duck, and he put it in a box, and then everybody had to figure out what it was. And it was rubber duck. And I know I said feather. I was probably the closest one to it. No.
Somebody actually said rubber duck.
Grumpy
so,
Stack.
Oh, they did.
Grumpy Stack. Yeah.
Oh, Grumpy Stack did.
Dalibor's face,
Rubber ducky. Yeah.
Yeah, he said rubber. Okay, it was Grumpy Stack.
No.
Because I know he said
That's why it
feather.
was so funny.
Yeah, you were very close. You got the feather, but unfortunately,
Yeah,
Doug
somebody
got
said.
it, and it was the weirdest thing, and everyone's like, no, they're not. That's what Dalibor said. Is like, I didn't tell him. That was interesting. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I love your shirt there, Lucky. I gotta say, that's a neat shirt. I wonder where you got that from.
I don't know.
Go to my merch store right now.
Yeah, that's right. Get your Anna Karana merch. The link's in the description below. Yes.
I have a hoodie with Anna Karana on that. I think you got that Anna Karana with the big sticker, with the I know. I have some too, the stickers, but I have the with the. I don't know what the Starfield. I don't know.
What it is,
looks like one of those early Galaxy stuff like that. But yeah, my wife loves that hoodie. It's black with the Anna Karana symbol with the I don't know, the Milky Way. I'm not sure what it is in the background, but it's really cool looking.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe you got one of the collector ones from the Milky Way.
No, well, the one that you just showed with the black in that color scheme behind it, on your cup is Anna Karana.
Yeah.
See, that behind it, what is that? See that's it looks like an early galaxy being formed.
Yeah, it's like the galaxy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That thing. That's what my wife has. Yeah. What's it called?
Yeah.
Nebula.
Max,
It's called a nebula.
Okay.
I don't know if you're seeing this, but Teresa said you were in the chat room when the Rubber Ducky show was on. So
okay.
You did probably see it.
Okay.
But that was a long time ago. But what a good show that was. I know but they had some good stuff. But they were trying to imitate your awesome show that you do. Remote viewing is you got it nailed. I don't know how anybody could do it as good as you do.
Oh, thanks.
Well, you do. You just got a style. You have a show tonight, believe it or not. You do. Okay, great.
I'll be a little late. That's all right. Everybody's
Okay.
here.
Well,
Some of them are here.
I'm glad you came on to say something about Dalibor. I mean, that's what we're here for. We're here to talk about Dalibor and say our goodbyes testifies tonight. Not that he's gone. I do believe that he is on the other side, and he's going to be guiding us for a while. He's going to be looking over each and every one of us' shoulder and helping us along. And if you need some good wisdom, I know I was calling out his name tonight as I was putting together this video. And as I put it together, I could just hear him in the background. Stop that cursor now. I got a lot of practice with that. Brian used to help me. I swear Brian helped me many times. I had a bench, and I swear he sat right next to me on the bench there and kind of showed me what I needed to click on and how to do it. I can't explain some of the things I did, but I did them, and I don't know how it happened.
There you go.
Anyway, Teresa says we were trying. See, they weren't copying your show. They were just testing people's psychic skills and remote viewing. Was one of the ways they could do it. Nobody does it better than Max with the James Bond.
Thanks.
There you go. Nobody does it better than Max.
Yeah, if you got rubber ducky, you did a good job, you know.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right. Grumpy Stack, we give you credit for that. I know I had Feather, and I thought that was pretty damn close, but couldn't remember if somebody guessed the rubber ducky right away. But yeah, I remember that was a big deal. But
almost everybody nails it once in a while on my show. Almost everybody will just nail it like perfectly. It's
yeah, I know. I was on one night and did the same thing. I guessed a man in a red room or something like that, or man with a beard or something. I don't know, but it was really freaking right on. I mean, you couldn't get much closer without.
Yeah, you've been really right on a couple times, I remember.
My best results are when I come in with a fresh mind and it's not clouded and I don't try so hard to think. And and that's when I do my best.
Yeah, thinking can be a problem when remote viewing. The mind always take over.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I was going to say, I had quite a few communications back to Dalibor here. I had quite a few communications through email with him. We talked back and forth a little bit, not a lot, but yeah, he sent me a short story or two that he's done. Really good writer. Yeah,
nice.
Nice. Published, I think.
Teresa was saying something about some stories or something like that. But yeah, that would be really cool if we could, you wanted to tell those, or maybe on your show or something like that. We'll tune in. Don't you worry.
Email.
Oh, okay. But, yeah, that he was real talented.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, just another talent that he had in short story writing. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did so many.
Well, and see, that's the thing, is we get to talking amongst ourselves. We're finding out he never sent me any short stories. I mean, he did send me emails on things to look at and research. So that's what I got. I didn't get short stories, And then he was
his stories all week in Facebook. If anybody wants copies, awesome.
Oh yeah. There we go. There you go.
Yeah, I actually have been copying them from the chat and putting them in Word formats so I could read them, because it's so hard to read in the Facebook chat. But if you copy it, you can put it in another thing. You're all set. I got there's like 4 of them. I think I've got 2 of them printed out, so I could read them at my leisure rather than Facebook's crazy algorithm situation.
Wow. Yeah. Well, like I said, we learn a little bit about him, here and there, and the places he went to Egypt, and traveled the world. He was in the United States. He went to and then on A7's show, there was a few people that showed up that actually knew him and hung out with him back in the day, when he was younger. So yeah, neato. I mean, he was a scavenger, dumpster diver. He drove an old Nissan van. I think I got that part on one of my clips here, if I can get to it. I'll see.
Nobody's gonna do a double take when I drop it.
Oh yeah, that was right on my next clip here. His old Nissan van. Let's listen to his old Nissan van story. He had. This was funny.
People see that as like one level of reality and a different level of reality. Because I've always worked like executive jobs. I was a bank director. I was a director of a stock exchange, and I was still picking trash. Yeah.
$300,000 car to go drive it around.
Well, not just that. But first of all, it's a cop magnet, and it's a thief magnet. Like you'd have to keep it in the garage. Like, okay, why would I want to do that? Because although I have a garage, it's a hassle to have to put the car in the garage and then take it out anytime I want to go out. With the car I have, which is a Nissan minivan, sits in my driveway outside. Everybody can see it, and it's there anytime I need it. So, and nobody's gonna do a double take when I drive by or anything, because it's just an ordinary car.
Yeah, you just look like the average person.
Yeah.
So yeah, just the average person, right? I love that. He just was like wanted the average person, not an old car, and didn't like expensive things. Wouldn't go out for a expensive dinner. I mean, I don't know if he was like extremely cheap or he just didn't feel like it was worth it. And I think more or less he didn't feel like it was worth that. Why drive the expensive car when the other car gets you back and forth to A and B, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of get it. I'm frugal in a lot of those ways too, but then there's ways that you want to treat yourself as well. Life's you gotta have some kind of balance there. Like you can't just be always frugal. But I do, I agree with a lot of the things that he was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, he is going to really be missed. I am going to miss him. I really am. Well, Max, I'm going to find a link for your show and put it in the comments for everybody. When's your show starting here? Little while?
I haven't posted yet, unfortunately.
Oh, you haven't posted? No wonder I can't find the link.
Yep.
I'm looking. I'm like, dang it. I'm terrible.
I'm going to be late tonight, so that's all right.
Okay. I was freaking out there, like I don't know how to surf YouTube anymore.
I'll fix that up.
Well, we should
have a link for you guys for tomorrow for our show that we're going to start. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, that's right. We're going to be back on track.
New series. Yeah, Anunnaki starting tomorrow. So make sure you tune in for this one. So that you don't miss out, because there will be a playlist up on YouTube, but this is the first one. So if that's important to be there on the first one, make sure you share the link out. I do believe I have it here already. I'll post it in the live chat. Go in there, smash the like, subscribe if you haven't, and then share it out if you don't mind. Greatly appreciated.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Lucky. Good show last night with your affirmations.
Always a good show. My affirmations are my bread and butter. I should stick to that more.
Yeah, that was a good show. I really enjoyed it.
I honestly, just sometimes the after effect is just amazing. I don't understand how YouTube works. It says, oh yeah, you had like 50 people watching. I'm like, no, I had 4 people watching. What's going on? So I don't know how. I think YouTube has a lot of bots that pop in and out and boost your numbers if you're lucky.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You gotta pray to the bots, I guess, eh?
I don't know. I don't know how it works, but
yeah. Well, anyways, any last words about Dalibor? Nina, well, let's start with you.
Well, I kicked myself in the butt for not having him on now. It would have been nice to have, something to look back at, but you definitely should do like for your channel, like if you're looking for content, do like a best of you know, and
Yep.
then pick out some of the shows there that you thought are good, you know, maybe just you know, take shorts out of it and make the best of, you know, and that kind of thing.
Yep.
Definitely would be cool. You know, honoring, you know, him in the future, you know what I mean? So, yeah. And even other people who have passed in the community as well.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, he's definitely going to be missed because, you know, he was on a lot of channels, you know,
Mhm.
he was around. So the community is definitely going to notice it, you know what I mean? So he's definitely going to be missed. And, but we'll see him again. We'll meet him on the other side, you know.
Yep.
So it's not
Yep.
like he's gone forever. He's just not here right now. That's all. So,
Yep,
see him again.
just a little bit of absence in all of our lives, and who knows? He probably teamed up with us in a past life sometime or another. Yeah, probably did. Lucky, what say you?
I honestly wish that I had sat down with Dalibor and talked about silver more, because he knew how to buy silver at below market prices, and he knew how to play those games. He really was really smart about that, and that's one thing is everyone knows that silver is undervalued, and that's the thing. Gold is overvalued, but silver is undervalued, and he knew how to play that. And I really wish I got you know. I always thought, oh, there'd be plenty of time, you know. But he knew because he was a banker and he was in the finances, so he knew what to look for. So, you know, maybe he was frugal where it needed to be, but extravagant where he could do it. So you never know, because I do know he owned 2 houses, so the guy
Yeah.
knew how to spread his money out in the right way, and it's something that now is lost to us because we can't learn that. It's a shame.
I know he had a Bitcoin too. He always said he had a Bitcoin, and price was so high, and he was like, I still have my Bitcoin. I bought really cheap at like $100.
Yeah, all that money that he was able to save, and now it's to his parents. Hopefully they can use it.
Yeah.
Hopefully they know how to. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, they're older, so
Yeah.
That's the problem. Those Bitcoin, if they don't know how to get it, where's it going to go? Oh, that's
And that's the
gone.
thing. You're not supposed to write down the information. It's all in your head. So when you pass,
oh no.
you take that stuff with you. It's gone. Yeah.
Yep.
That's how they win. Because I would
Yeah.
never remember that shit if I even have bought it back then. You know, like that would have been gone.
Yeah. Wow, that's something. Yeah, that's something that is gone. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Whew.
Max,
Can't take it with you.
what do you say about Dalibor?
I miss talking to him. I've talked to him on so many different places.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
I just really enjoyed talking to him. He was always such a pleasure to talk to, and yeah, I'm gonna really miss that.
Yeah, he was on with Smoking G Sharp a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, he loved being on those shows. You know, and Smoking G, she was always just souping it up because, you know, he just like tuned in with a cigarette, like, yeah, and started talking. I love it. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah, I think that was one
sad that I
idea.
won't be able to do that more. That's all. You know,
Yeah. I
there's
know.
so many little things that we could pick his brain for. You know,
Mhm.
but really,
Yeah.
he was just so happy talking to you. You know, we go on conspiracy theories, whatever. You know,
Yeah.
and yeah, just a wide variety of stuff that he was interested in, could talk about. You know.
Mhm.
Yeah. I wish we got to know him longer, and better. And like Lucky, like you said, you know, you think there's plenty of time, and then one day there's no time. And I think, you know, that's something that we really need to walk away tonight with that and say, you know, there's no time like the present, because if you wait till the future, things change and then it's gone. And especially in people, you know, today they could be here and tomorrow gone. And you didn't get to say those last words or get to talk to them about what you really wanted to talk about. You know, say the things you really wanted to say to them. And now you won't get the chance in this lifetime. You'll have to wait until you get to the other side, or, you know, or something. I don't know. You know, I mean, I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Elderberry says I was accustomed to his data input Fridays, yeah, on A7, yeah, for sure. Anyway, well, I guess we should wrap it up. Like I said, it's sad, and I'm sad. Really hit me hard for quite a few days. It was rough. But yeah, I'm gonna miss him. But life goes on. We'll make the best of it, and
It was so
we'll be
shockingly quick too.
Yeah, it was. I mean, he was just on the show, and then all of a sudden, and he wasn't answering my emails anymore. And I'm thinking, is he mad at me? Something okay? And I kept sending him emails, and nothing. But anyway, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna end it there because I feel a little sad. Sorry. Okay, everyone. Remember, go out and say nice things to the loved ones you miss and love and care about and stuff like that, because someday they'll be gone. With that, everybody, be the frequency you want to receive, everyone. Love you all. Peace, everybody. Remember Dalibor.